Group after the first couple of days?
We're okay. We got a long way to go, like everybody. I like our attitude coming into practice every day. We just got to get better on the details, just the little fine details of the game. So got a long way to go, but I like 3 days in. It's been good.
How much has helped you walking in to have three veterans like Johnson, Green, and Thomas?
It's been awesome. I mean, you can't buy the game experience that they've had out on the field. So that's the deal for those guys now, is they've had the experience. Now it's those fine details of hat placement, hand placement, getting our depth on our routes, catching the ball, and being great leaders for our offense.
How much confidence did you see Farad gain last year with that experience that he got?
Farad's been awesome. He's doing well. You can tell he's a confident player. That experience was huge for him.
How much is it? I know he hadn't dropped a lot of weight, but George dropped a few pounds. Can you kind of see it different from him in the spring?
A little bit. Their deal for me is that the biggest difference I've seen from those guys is just the focus. I think they understand what they need to get accomplished. In our room, we got to get tougher, mentally and physically tougher, and that's what they're trying to do every day.
Got a couple of red shirts that are now under your supervision for the first time, Dante Jones and Christian Robertson. What have you seen from them so far in camp?
Those guys have flashed. They've flashed. So now what you see all the time with younger guys is consistency. They flash and do some really good things. They're great to have in the room, good kids. So it's just consistency from those guys, but they've done well. They were good in the spring, and they've done well this summer, this fall, the first 3 days. But it just comes down to that experience that they don't have. So they'll bust some plays here and there, and they're not always consistent. So, but they've done well the first 3 days.
I know his head's spinning because he just got here and he's just a true freshman. But what did you see out of Powers One when y'all guys were recruiting him? What kind of track did you do?
Yeah, Powers. You look at him and he fits in right in our room with his size. He's got great size, great ability. He was a great kid. It was an opportunity. We liked him on tape. I liked everything. When I talked to him, talked to his family, he fit in our program, and he's done some really good things the first 3 days. He's going to be a really good player. Obviously, he doesn't know up from down right now, but he's going to be really good, and he's exactly what we had hoped we got. So for the first 3 days, I think we did a good job.
Going back to Farad, how has he gotten better as a receiver in the offseason?
Just working on catching the ball, working on top ends, getting in and out of breaks. He's done a good job from that aspect. But just once again, you'll hear me say it over and over again. It's just for him as well, consistency and doing it over and over and over again. But he's turning into a good receiver. We got to become a great receiver, catching the ball all the time. He will lose focus and have some drops, but I can tell he worked this summer.
Logan talked earlier this week about having more depth than usual at the position. You know the offense well.
Sure.
How does the offense change when you've got a lot of guys you can use?
You can change personnel. You got depth now, so now we can play more 12 personnel. We can put two guys out there. We've talked about that a little bit. And you can, we'll always have a fresh guy on the field. Obviously, we play with tempo, so you're not going to be interchanging a bunch, but it just gives you more options. I think every guy offers something different. They all have great skills, and they offer something different. Each guy offers something different.
Thinking back to the spring, you mentioned something with Jordan that he needed to have a sense of urgency. This is his last, go. Have you kind of seen that from him?
A little bit, but once again, it's on and off. We got to get it where it's all the time. Jordan is. You look at his stats, you look at his height, weight, and all that, and how fast he runs, how big and physical he is. He has got to dominate. He should dominate week in and week out, and that's what I've been asking him to do. Every bust he has, if he busts a play or if he drops the ball, you're a senior. It can't happen. That's what we want. And I've seen it a little bit. He's got to focus here. We just got to get it to where it's turned on all the time.
So it's a mental thing that's kind of separating him from being that?
I don't know if I'll say mental. It's just, I'm pushing him, okay and good enough, good and good enough, you have to be great. You could be, with his size and his ability, if he ever decides to turn it on all the way, and it's not a, if I feel like it type of deal, he could be as special as he wants to be.
I'm curious also, just before you got the job, actually, how much did Dan Mullen stress the idea of incorporating passing with tight ends this year in particular?
We didn't discuss it. We didn't discuss that much. We didn't discuss that much before I got the job here. Now that I'm here, obviously they're going to be a focal point of our offense. They have great ability, and it's my job to make sure that we're executing the pass game and that we're getting out of them what we have to get out of them, because those guys have a lot of ability. We just got to make sure we pull it out of them.